Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Victoria 2, Heart of Darkness, Italy. And where we last left off, we were, doing things. Stuff. That's all I got. One of the comments on the previous episode explained to me I done goofed with the Djibouti army. I made these guys irregulars, and they shouldn't be. They should be normal infantry. So once everybody gets all set up there, I will, although, I mean, really, excuse me. Well, let's take a look at our army. Yeah, we got 3. We were building 4. So what we will do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. And then we can take this guy here and disband them. That way, it's going to be an actual functioning army, which is always good. What do we got going on here? Steamer transports coming home into Sicily. I likes it. Let's go ahead and take on up to speed 3. And, basically... Oh, my voice. I don't know what's going on. Doesn't feel right. Anyway, basically, we will, just continue what we're doing. We got ourselves Burma. One thing I do need to check, because I have a feeling it's been like this for a while. Well, I think of Burma. We don't need to increase that anymore. 17 is big enough. It employs a buttload of people. Think that's fine for growth. And even all the opium in Burma probably won't be enough to supply that place, so I don't think I can reduce it. Like, I can expand it all I want, but I don't think I can knock it down in size, so that must have been set for 40 years. That is a bit of a goof, so thank you for pointing that out. I feel like a bit of a noob. Anyway, we got to keep doing things here, and I'm thinking cheap steel is probably going to be a good idea. Maybe phenomenology and hermeneutics? That sounds a bit like Scientology wording. I don't know though. I don't know. Maybe neoclassical theory would be good. No, you know what? We're going to go with cheap steel. Not that our industry is all that great. 7th in the world, but cheap steel will be good, and it will help get things. My brain, it's not working today. What will it get? Just really production outputs, but it will open things up for advanced metallurgy, so that's a good thing. And it is therefore my conclusion that although there are certain professions generally unsuitable for women to occupy, their presence in the workplace poses no fundamental threat to the social order. A well-known and respected member of our military establishment has today published an opinion editorial in the Rome Courier, one of Italy's leading dailies. In what has been described as the biggest career blunder in the decade, the general has advocated the inclusion of women in the workplace in factories and businesses, arguing primarily that their inclusion and protection under law would only amount to a confirmation of the already established de facto state of women being employed. The legal status of women in the workplace obviously needs to be regulated. The man clearly has no future in the Italian army. Now, I'm gonna take the morally correct stance and ignore the prestige and militancy for soldiers. But I think that's the right way. That's the right way to go. Yeah, sure, let's go on a whistle-stop tour, because that'll make up for the prestige we lost in saying that women can be allowed to work. What a weird world. Okay, so, Brazil. They should be able to handle this, but what I will do, I'll go to Rio and make sure we have military access with the nation, and we will just keep the American army on standby. If they have to go, they have to go, and we will assist our friends in Brazil, but I think they got a handle on this. It's not anything they shouldn't be able to take care of, really. They've got the military power kicking around, although their army is pretty weak. So let's play the role of a great power, and let's see, the biggest threat is probably coming from the west. So we will plop ourselves down in Bremen and start assisting. Because at the very least, that gives us something to do. 45, wow, that is a big stack of armies there. The cat and mouse act again. So we will go with ignore the matter. Saddle orders, drying techniques, Archibald Scott Cooper. Let's take a look at the newspaper with stuff going on. And one thing I do want to check on our reforms. Is it a reform or is it a movement? Or a decision, I mean. There we go. What do I need for this? Social science. And we need socialists. So, social science is there. We'll get that next after cheap steel. And we'll try working towards women's suffrage in, the late 19th century. Maybe early 20th century, but certainly surprisingly earlier than it happened in real life. So, something to consider. Romania! Increase your opinion. And how are we looking? We're in kind of a dead heat with Russia. That's okay. We'll deal with it. Maybe if you listened to what the nice ladies were telling you, things wouldn't be going on. Wonderful. We can now produce steel artillery, which is good. That'll be one other factory that our capitalists will probably ignore completely. Just, that's fine, I guess. All right, Brazil. Where can we go to help? It looks like their armies are starting to get into strength here, although, really, that situation down there is not looking all that hot. That is perhaps where we should have gone instead of over here. So, let's do it. Hop in your boats, and we will head to Rio just to protect against them, because it looks like the first core of excitement is off on an adventure that way. Well, the first army takes care of the rebels who have occupied some land. And this is taking quite a long time. How many? We've got 15 clipper ships. Is the American army really that big? I didn't think it was that big. But we should look at upgrading the American Navy to be steamers. I think that would be a good idea. So, what we will have to do there then, pit mining, is, well, look at that. Brazil's got a handle on this. I think, you know what, we don't really need to be stomping out rebellions in Brazil. They got a handle on it, but I do want to get that fleet upgraded. So, let's check that. You're still my rally point for ships? Wonderful. We are going to build... We don't need 28, we need 15. So we'll snag all the ports. Oh, we've already got Palmero on there. So Ravenna, Genoa, Venice, Cagliari, Massa, Grosseto, Viterbo, and what is that? That's 10? So we'll just do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I say, I don't know if I need 15, but I'm going to build 15 because we'll probably need them other places. We need some steamers in Africa, wherever that fleet is. I think it's over in Djibouti, actually. Maybe not. Oh, no, wait, that's way over here, where we will need to upgrade that fleet as well. So we'll work on that too. We'll give them 15. We will go with the reactionaries breathing a sigh of relief. And we will increase our relations with Burma. Might as well get that done. And it so rightly has been stated, what a tangled web we weave. Nowhere was this more true than in the bureaucratic mess that is our civil code since the wage reforms were implemented. Members of Parliament, known for their cozy relations with Italy's capitalist classes, have begun criticizing the minimum wage reform for its allegedly negative effects on the clarity, lucidity, and simplicity of our nation's code of laws. They claim that the system is needlessly bureaucratic and could be reformed. The reforms they suggest would, however, mean an effective abolishment of the system. We're not getting rid of our very minimal wage laws. I don't even think we have wage laws. France, what are you doing? Now, we want to decrease opinion. Are we not dumping in? Looks like we need to start getting defensive in Spain here. Humiliate against Belgium. Okay. But yeah, if France is able to pull Spain into their sphere, that would be a very bad thing. At least for the war effort, it would be a very bad thing. The future war effort. Now we had another comment. Another beer hall cheers. Suggesting war with the UK and Russia. Or had I considered it? I've, of course, considered war with the United Kingdom. But that's... You know, we're not really in a position to take on the UK directly and without allies. And what I'd be looking for is to expand in Asia, so I'd probably try to go for these two provinces, maybe take the rest of British Pegu, so it becomes 100% Italian Pegu. Social science, please. But, you know, there's not much that Britain has that I'd want to take. Maybe some African land, like maybe take out British Kenya as well, although, I mean, taking a look at their armies, they're stocked, you know, they're ready to fight. Russia, no. What would I take from Russia? What could Russia possibly offer me that I'd want? It would, maybe some land in here, but I don't want Central Asian land with goats and cotton. Maybe some more opium, but, you know, there's nothing really that Russia offers Italy to go to war with them. Obviously, you know, you might wind up getting into issues against, say, Romania, or issues getting Romania into our sphere, things of that nature. But no, as for just a flat-out war with Russia for kicks, there's no point. UK maybe, but France is the main enemy of Italy. France is the main target. France has Italian land. So, no war with Russia. If it happens, of course. Eastern Transylvania, what's going on here? Crisis over the return of Romania's rightful territories. Well, we're working on getting Romania in our sphere, aren't we? Yeah. And we could take on Austria. Oh, yeah, we could. Yeah, okay. We'll jump in. I want to take a side. I guess they'll have to ask us, but we'll definitely declare our support. No, we're not backing you, Austria. Yes, we're backing you, Romania. So, Romania has their great power. Nobody wanted to back Austria. I guess nobody wanted to get involved except me. So, that's something. I guess we could just... If we were to form an alliance, which we do have with Romania, I wonder if we could press their claims? Let's see. Though they are allied with the UK. Free the people. What does this do? Liberate a country from its oppressors. We don't want to liberate a country from the oppressors. No, free people. Yeah, liberate a country from its oppressors, which is... Oh, okay, yeah, so we would free the people of Romania. Okay, so if we were to do that, that would be a war with England. So what would we be facing? We would be facing probably stuff going on in Asia that we can't really contain. The African front, just taking a look at the 37th here, we would need to consolidate all of our African armies. Which I guess isn't that difficult of an idea. Well, it's not a difficult idea at all to consider. We'd have to consolidate our forces. We would have enough. If we were to take the 10th out of Djibouti, position them there, position you there, we would be able to theoretically contain that British army. The 7th would be able to push into this area, and we wouldn't want to press it much further than that. No, not with the 13th. With the 13th, we'd have to get reinforcements from America, but unfortunately in America, I know the Brits outnumber us gravely. And they would probably just make a field day of conquering all of our land. Because we don't have the naval presence to counter them. We're not quite ready to take on these great powers. We've got to get some time. I see you going for Switzerland. I guess, yeah, that's fine. We will, make sure, yeah, Germany still likes us. It's great. And things are going okay here. But yeah, to take on the UK, we would definitely need a far better navy than what we've got. Which means we would need the modern ships that I can't build yet because it's not 1900. We are getting close, and that'll be one of the first things, if not the first technology I research once we're able to. Just to be able to get the ships up there. Oh, look at this. Hungarian nationalists, Austria, you're falling to pieces. So yeah, there we have it. There's the state of the situation. If we were to go to war with France, I don't think anybody would join us. Unlikely, maybe, unlikely, unlikely, unlikely. If we were to go to war with Austria, we'd also have to deal with the war with the United Kingdom, and globally we're in no position to fight back the British. Now, in Europe proper, we would have absolutely no problem in taking out the Austrians, although currently the Hungarians are having no problem taking out the Austrians. So, might as well let Hungary declare its independence and see the empire fall. Which, from a historical perspective, completely removes World War I from even being possible as a historical sense. And from a holy crap, that's a lot of rebels. From a geopolitical sense, it makes no sense to have Austria in an alliance with Germany and Italy, because they won't, I mean, they'll maybe be a junior partner, but they won't be anywhere near the power that they were historically. Anyway, that's enough rambling, I think, on that topic anyway. Yeah, and so as long as Russia keeps spending their points to knock my diplomats out, eventually I'll be able to knock them down a peg. Granted, that doesn't get us any closer to having Romania in our sphere, so we might have to look at that. Just checking things out here. We might have to look at that from a dumping more Diplo points into it. This is worrying me, though. What's going on with Spain? They need to stay our friends, damn it. Advanced machine parts. Wonderful. Tax reform. Raise the Italian flag. Get some more tax money in. Yeah, taxes seem to be okay. There's a little bit who are getting their life needs partially fulfilled. But that's fine. The UK is 26 grand in debt to us. We should call in that debt. Although that's probably, interest on that debt is probably what's paying for things. If you, sir, is upset by the fact that student number 156 wears a bonnet, I would be pleased to remove my conspicuous headgear and take a seat at the rear of the classroom, but I will not voluntarily absent myself from a lecture. Woman causes scandal at Italian University by being there. A woman has enrolled at one of our institutions of higher learning, and the event has caused a fair amount of scandal among local conservatives. Throw that willy-nilly out of my institution of higher learning, or so our erudites are intimidated by the female intellect. If we continue to socially chastise conservatives, perhaps they will change their tone and not be so fearful of women, which would be good. But, you know, once we get social science done, we can hopefully enact. Although, there's other things we need. One of the things I don't like about this universal suffrage thing is that we need like 30% socialist or 30% liberal in the upper house. I wonder if we'll be able to pull that off. A small study circle dedicated to several issues close to the suffragette agenda for women's votes has, during the last few years, begun developing a name for itself in the international debate on women's rights. The Italian School, as the circle is now being known, has published several tracts on philosophy, politics, and economics, all relating to the plight of women across the world. Let us bask in the glow and get some more prestige from our fine ladies. What was I looking at? Right, politics, house. If communists count as socialists, which, you know, from a social standpoint, they probably should, we should be okay. Oh no, Umberto Porro is dead. That name does ring a bell, which means I've used him in rather important military operations. We'll outfit an expedition to the North Pole. Have we got our steamer fleet ready to go? We do. 76mm gun. Like it. We will send those steamers to Port-au-Prince, and we will nuke the clippers. Now, we're going to need another 15. We'll pause this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Palmero, so Ravinia, right? Genoa, Venice, Cagliari, Messina, Grosseto, Vitiboro. There we go. We got another 15 for Asia, which is all good. And finally, the Italian fleet is entering the steam age. Let's take our other transport fleet here. Let's see. Transports of 14. We'll pump that up. We'll put you in Naples. And we'll leave our submarines based in Palmero. That'll be good. And hopefully those steamers get there quickly. I imagine they will. And it doesn't appear as if we're having much problem acquiring the actual steamer hulls, which is glorious. Okay, really, we don't need to increase this anymore. We have enough. Is there a way to put negatives on this? Because I'm looking like the clothes factory here. The luxury clothes factory is huge, but it's hard to get anybody working in it. So I don't know. Maybe... Well, we could shut down the small arms factory because we have plenty of those. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm willing to bet some capitalists will come along quite quickly with an idea of what can go into Piedmont. Thankfully, you know, there's plenty of places for other people to work. And that's true, really, of the Italian Empire. We've got really no unemployment, which is insane. I love it. It's perfect. Landowners throughout Campania have begun a program of intensive farming. That is unwise. We don't want intensive farming. And there's the American squadron arriving safely, ready to transport the American army around. And in fact, let's rename this sucker. There we go, the American squadron. My word. Good job, Canada. And America, you're looking historically accurate, actually. North America is looking just as it should. Mexico, US, Canada, looking perfect. It's really the only place. The only place in the map where things went according to history. Damn, you are getting points in there like crazy. Now, one of the other things I was thinking we could be doing... Italian communists. We shouldn't have too much of an issue fighting those guys off. The issue with winning, of course, is that I believe if we go communist, our sphere dissipates and all that other stuff. So keeping the government the same, the government structure the same, while changing it wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, one thing I would possibly like to look at is doing a little bit of foreign investment in some places. And I'm thinking, if we go South America, Brazil itself might be a great idea. So we've got a wool mill and a printing press and a gunpowder factory out of operation in Brazil. So if we take a look at, let's say, the most populous location, we've got coffee, which I don't think I can turn into anything. Yeah, there's a whole lot. So, actually, here's what we could do. Foreign investment in Sao Paulo, we could go with a canned food factory, which should take in... Let's just make sure here, because there might be... If we can do two different kinds of tobacco factories, we should be able to get some kind of coffee factory going on here. But it doesn't look like it. That's kind of a surprise. Maybe we don't have the tech to do it? I don't know. But I think what I will do is open up a canned food factory in Brazil. And there's other places in our sphere that we could be looking at doing things as well. Certainly over here in the Balkans, we could look at doing something. So... Even in Bulgaria, I feel like Bulgaria might be a good idea. What we got here? Tobacco? Really? Okay, Eastern Rumelia. Apologies if I mispronounce that. There we go. Europe. Can I not? Sphere. Why can I not build something in Bulgaria? Do I need... I guess we need to increase relations with them enough? Question mark? But Albania should like us, right? Yeah, Albania is loving us. I guess they are a satellite of the Ottoman Empire, so that might be what's going on there. But I'd like to get a cigarette factory going in Bulgaria. I think that would be a good idea. And a good use of the product. Or a good use of the natural products of the region. And when you think Bulgaria, you think cigarettes. Also, please note, this is not me advocating smoking. So let's just get that disclaimer out of the way before it becomes an issue. Yeah, that baffles me. Why can I not invest in Bulgaria? Like, there's very few places I can invest in. Odd. Anyway, we'll figure that out. What did we get? We got social science done. We're inching ever closer to getting steam turbine ships. Our military is looking top-notch. Wonderful. Electricity would probably be a good idea. It does open up a whole swath of new factories. All of this really opens up a whole swath of new factories. We've got automobiles, we've got boots, luxury clothes, luxury furniture, electric gears, electric power, telephones, rubber. We get radios and all sorts of stuff. But maybe... No, I think we'll go with this route. Get some more research points. Because then we'll be able to snag steel turbine ships that much quicker. Ah, reactionaries can breathe a sigh of relief. And it looks like our Asian squadron is coming along nicely. We got just a few more transports to build. Roughly 6 of them, if I can do the math. Plus another one for the European squadron as well. And I might just start renaming my fleets so that these things make sense. So let's do that. First fleet, no. You are the Asian squadron. We've got loyal subjects. And we will take the prestige. We will call this the European squadron. Glorious. Shall we host a colonial expedition? Yes, we shall. And this will be the submarine fleet. And I realize naming conventions are a little bit off there. I've got squadrons larger than fleets. I hope you'll be able to deal with it, and I would imagine at some point, relatively soon in fact, we'll probably boost up the complement of submarines. Thankfully, unlike Hearts of Iron, we're not limited. Like, our leaders aren't limited by the amount of troops they can lead. I mentioned Hearts of Iron. Been playing Darkest Hour. There's a Fallout mod for that. And it's a pretty fun mod, I will say. Do we have more than one steamer transport here? Did I do this? No. 12, 13, 14. Damn. I was looking at that and I'm like, we got 2 coming. Wrong squadron. This is the Asian squadron we're watching. "13, 14, 15 soon." Vitiboro, once a bastion of liberal support, has seen a shift in its ideology. Indeed, all throughout Lazio, there's no R in that word. It seems that support for the liberals is crumbling. Boo. Alright, that squadron's almost ready to set sail. Romance is in the air in one of our provinces, where a marriage between one of the province's immigrant sons and a young local girl is being celebrated by friends and family. Some decry the development as the end of Italian civilization, but the young couple sure do look happy. Immigration is changing Italy in ways both big and small. Wish them all the best! There's really no other answer for that event. There's stuff definitely going on in Burma. Expedition returns without success. We'll try again. Throw more money at the problem. Eventually it'll go away. No intensive farming, people. That's not a good idea. Alright. Let's set the Asian squadron on its route and get rid of the clippers. And we can continue. Can we? No, it's still building. But we can continue to solidify our presence in Burma. Because that's a good idea. Oh dear. Luang Prabanggi got eaten up by the Dutch. Well, that's too bad. Probably missed some sort of news about that. We can't act against the bars. But that's okay, because we still got Burma. And taking a look at Asia, forget going to war with Europe. Forget going to war with all of Europe. Forget going to war with the United Kingdom. I'm looking at the Dutch. Allied to Portugal, the Russian Empire, and Spain. I would imagine it would probably anger Spain if we went to war with them. But that is a very tempting idea. We can decrease... Oh, geez. Who do we want to decrease the opinion of? Or we could expel the advisors. I think we'll decrease the opinion of France, is who we'll do that to. Because I have a feeling France is more keen on getting Spain under their influence than we are, or than the UK is. What do we got here? Romania. Oh, no, let's just go to Romania. That'll be easier. So we're sitting at cordial. We are discredited by the Russians, though. So do we want to increase our relations with Romania or ditch some support of the Russians? I think we're going to want to increase our opinion. Sure, we're discredited, but as long as the Russians keep discrediting us, like I say, it pretty much gives us free rein to do as we wish. Colonial prestige increase. That's great. I'd love to get the technology that would allow me to, say, go for Northern New Guinea here. Unfortunately, the Dark Continent is taking forever and a decade to happen to us, and I'd like to see why that is. I mean, that's what leads to it, right? So what else do we need for this? Oh, well, it needs to be 1900. So we'll get another little colonial burst of excitement. Bulgaria. Bulgaria? You can handle that, Bulgaria. Increase relations. And can we start building things in Bulgaria yet? No. That concerns me. I'd like to get them a factory. Also, let's just take a look. How are things going in Brazil with the canned food factory? We've got some people working. Well, isn't that exciting? Oh, well, we had people working. But it appears as if unemployment is going up, but people are leaving the food factory? Why would that be? Because people aren't buying the goods, I would guess. Well, that was an experiment that failed. But I bet you the cigarette factory in Bulgaria will be fine. It'll go gangbusters. It'll be bigger than our pharmaceutical plant. Speaking of, what's coming in here? A fuel refinery. That's cool. That's up to date. That's modern. I don't think we're producing fuel anywhere. I don't think we're not producing oil, but we can get it off the world market somehow, magically. Anyway, I think I'm going to wind up leaving the episode here for today. Kind of a dull episode. I do apologize for that, but you know, we've got to be careful of what bear we poke. Because we're not in a good position to start a big European war. And there's not much in the world for us to go conquer anymore. So it's kind of a lull. Anyway, thumbs up if you have enjoyed this episode. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.